Hello, beautifuls. One of my favorite things is introducing people to the language of spirit or the language of the universe. Because when I learned to speak that language, my world completely changed. Life became incredibly magical, and I want that for every single person. What am I talking about? What does that even look like? So I'm going to share a couple stories with you. So a few months ago, I was sitting with some friends on a patio, and one friend was talking about the trials and tribulations they were going through, and they were talking about them in great depth, and you could feel the emotion, the turmoil. And I just observed and I watched as the other two friends were eating it up, right? They were in the thick of it. I myself wanted to leave because I didn't enjoy the energy that was being portrayed there. But I sat and I watched and observed in silence. And after about 40 minutes of this person discussing their problems in great length, they shifted just a little bit and they talked about a window or an opening that they had been experiencing and how this window had sort of like connections. I would call them synchronicities, but connections to something particular. And as they mentioned this particular connection, they said, that is exactly the environment I want to be in. Now, knowing that the universe is always talking, I watched as they said that. This is the environment I want to be in. This giant fluff ball comes floating in from my left, their right. And right always symbolizes the direction forward, the next step, the movement, the masculine, right? And this giant fluff ball comes floating in and I'm like, oh my God, just look at this. It is saying, yes, this is the way. However, this person didn't even really pay attention, but grabbed the fluff ball, squished it in their hand, and threw it to the ground. And I gasped. And everybody looked at me like I was crazy. But I understood what they just did. The universe was telling them, more of this. Focus on this. And they took it and they crushed it and they threw it down. I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on my problems. I want to focus on my pain. And we always have the freedom of choice. However, when we are fluent in the language with which the universe speaks, we understand that something like that is not irrelevant. It's not accidental. It is incredibly powerful. Fast forward a few months. I've been talking with this individual about how the universe speaks. And we were again sitting on a patio. Of course, the universe speaks louder in nature, or we can hear it more easily in nature. Maybe that's the better way to put it. And I mentioned something. So I've been changing the way I show up in the world, especially with what I eat and what I drink, knowing that it has an effect on my vibration. Oh, we're losing the sun here. And I said, because the night before I ate something that didn't make me feel energetically well, and I said, I want to be eating more cleanly, more juices, fresh fruit. Let's see if we can turn this a little bit. Is that a little bit better? That's better for you guys. Okay. Since I don't edit, we just roll, right? I said, I want to be eating cleaner, more fruit juices and more raw fruit. And the moment I said that, a flock, and I've never seen it, a flock of robins, 30 to 40 of them. And the significance of that is the day before I had a very magical experience with a robin, flew over, and this person said to me, I think the universe just agreed with you. And in that place, their eyes filled with tears, and I could see They understood, they felt that communication every bit as much as I did. And I wanted to share this because sometimes we feel alone, and we are never alone. The universe never wants to see us fail. It is always benevolent. However, it is up to us to learn the language of the universe, to speak in that language, and to listen and follow the paths and the doorways that open in that language. If you'd like to learn more about this language and become fluent in the language of the universe, my information is down below. And even if you're just simply curious, leave a comment below or reach out. There's a spot there where we can have a free 30-minute conversation. Until we speak again, please be well.